Hey guys, welcome to what will be the beginning of the end for my 4-part video series covering NHL jersey changes that I would like to see. And in this series, I have also been sharing my predictions for what we may just see from Adidas when they take over the NHL next year. However, I want to make note of something. Sportslogos.net has just told the world that a dozen teams will be getting new uniforms in the National Hockey League next year. And when I've done all the videos I've done before this video you're watching right now, those videos were done before the news about the 12 teams getting new uniforms under Adidas next year came out from sportslogos.net. So just in case you're wondering, like, oh, this team isn't getting new uniforms if you're watching one of the older videos in the series, that's because I did those before this rumor or this piece of news came out. All right. So another thing I want to mention is that, okay, so I've done the Metropolitan Division. I split the Atlantic Division into 2 parts, and I just did the Pacific Division video in my last video, actually. And I mentioned about possibly splitting the Central Division into 2 videos, and I've decided to do so because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. And also, I thought, you know what? I've been doing this video series for quite a while now. I might as well give it an epic send-off with 2 extra videos instead of just 1. So, unofficially, there will be 6 videos in total, but officially, it'll be a 4-part video series. And as I have done at the beginning of every video in this series, I want to take a moment to thank my subscriber Orbital X Stride 52 for the suggestion, as always. And Orbital, it's been a lot of fun doing this series. And I look forward to doing this video and to wrapping up the entire series in my next video. So, what I'm going to do for this first of 2 parts for the Central Division itself, is I'm going to start this video covering the Blues, the Wild, the Avalanche, and the Jets. Then in my next video, I will conclude the series by talking about Chicago, Dallas, and of course, the Nashville Predators, who are making their first ever Stanley Cup final appearance right now against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And to you Predator fans out there, congratulations. Good luck to you guys. And it'll be fun to watch the final 2 to 5 games left in the Stanley Cup final. That's for darn sure. So, what I'm going to do for this video is I'll talk about these 4 teams, Winnipeg through St. Louis, and as I mentioned, I'll talk about those 3, these 3 in my next video. So far I've talked about jersey changes that I want to see for every team, and I've also talked about my predictions for what we will see from Adidas in my personal opinion. But now with the news coming out from sportslogos.net, for this, the Central Division, it won't be predictions. It'll be more what I know and what I don't. However, as soon as this series is done, immediately after the first video that will come out will be about the jersey changes that we know are happening so far for the 2017-18 NHL season. All right, so first off, I'm going to start with the Winnipeg Jets. Now, for a team that had such a short period of time when they first relocated from Atlanta to come up with new uniforms for the 2011-2012 season, I think Winnipeg did an outstanding job. Are they my favorite uniforms? No, they are not. But let me tell you, for the time constraint for new uniforms, they did a good job. And I can appreciate Winnipeg wanting to hold on to these uniforms a little tiny bit longer, and that's why they're not getting uniforms next year with Adidas. And I can appreciate them wanting to hold on to these ones because remember, guys, these are the Winnipeg Jets 2.0. They're not the original Jets. The original Winnipeg Jets are actually now the Arizona Coyotes and have been for over 20 years now. Boy, I feel old saying that. But with the Winnipeg Jets, their away jersey is not too bad. I do like their home jersey. I think it's a sharp look. But holy cow, when I saw that Heritage Classic jersey earlier this season, I was amazed at how good it looked. The WHA Avco World Trophy winning white uniform is a thing of beauty. And I would love to see the Jets bring it back. Like, if they're not going to switch to the Heritage Classic look full time, they have to at least make it a third jersey. They have to. It's such a nice look. I love it. And I would get rid of their home and away jerseys in a heartbeat for the Jets to go back to the original World Hockey Association look full time with the matching blue jersey from that era. And not the one with the white shoulder yoke, the one without it. For those of you who know what I'm talking about. But you know what? The Heritage Classic look, I think, is absolutely amazing. If the Jets are not going to switch to it, they need to make it their third jersey, in my opinion. But for their home and away jerseys right now, I respect their decision not to change them. And with them just having come back to the NHL for a little bit over 5 years now, I respect their decision to keep things the same, to establish themselves as the new Jets. And I respect that. But if they went to their Heritage Classic uniforms full time with their home jersey as a third, wow, that would be amazing. But either they should make the Heritage Classic a new third, or I would be open to a new alternate with a lighter blue with their current logo on the front. That would look good too, possibly. And I would be down with that. But in my personal opinion, though, as I say that, I feel that their Heritage Classic jersey is way too good to have only been used for 2 or 3 games. They've got to make it come back as a third jersey. Hopefully as soon as they can start wearing thirds again in the 2018-19 season. Sooner the better, in my opinion. But anyways, as I say that, though, I do think Winnipeg's current home and away jerseys are quite decent. Though, as I've said, I would give them up for the Heritage look any day. But that's my opinion. So, with that, I am now going to move on to the Colorado Avalanche, who I think, as of 2017, have the worst uniforms in the National Hockey League. They're horrible. You know what? I could go on for a while. But Colorado's uniforms are garbage. I don't know how they have lasted this long. They have that horrible Reebok edge piping. They have those horrible side panels. And they are just a total abomination. They are a bloody mess. And I don't know how they've lasted as long as they have. And what I still can't even begin to understand is why they took the Yeti shoulder patch, the Yeti foot, off the shoulders just to replace it with the Colorado State Flag C with the O inside it. When they should have just scrapped those uniforms and burnt them in a bonfire, for Christ's sake. They should have just burned those abominations and gone with something new. I would take their third jersey with a matching away jersey any day over their current home and away jerseys. And truth is, I don't care for their third jersey. And sadly, it's the only good jersey that they have. Or it's the only jersey that they've got going for them right now. Now, compared to their other 2 jerseys, that jersey's actually good. But I don't like it. Personally, I do not like it at all. Number one, I just can't get behind the new modernized Colorado Rockies logo. I just don't like it. And the other thing, not only do I not like that logo, but on top of that, the burgundy on the arms, on the cuffs of the arms, as well as the socks, is very hard to see on that jersey. I don't know how other people feel about it, but when I'm watching it on TV or I see a picture of the jerseys from a distance, you can barely see the burgundy. It does not stick out. And they should have maybe have even considered going with a scarlet red to really just make sure that the red on the uniform actually stood out. Because the burgundy, it is very hard to see it from a distance. It blends in with the rest of the uniform. And it doesn't look good from a distance. And not only that, they have this massive rectangular oversized shoulder yoke. And on top of that, their shoulder patch is their state flag. Like, for Christ's sake, where the hell is the bloody creativity there, people? They've got the Stadium Series mock tie-down collar. It's okay, I guess. But, you know, the uniform is very plain. It doesn't even have waist striping. It looks half-finished for that reason. And unfortunately, their home and away jerseys are so freaking bad that that's the only jersey of theirs that has any decency to it at all. Like, I actually thought their last third jersey, the light blue one, was actually not too bad. If they would have just added waist striping to that would have been not too bad. But, you know, that one was the only third jersey that I thought was even half decent. Like, their current one is good. I like that they came up with something new. They needed a new jersey of some kind. But it just doesn't do it for me. And I think their longtime logo is much better than the modernized Rockies logo. And at this point, even though I do not like their original uniforms, I felt they were way too busy when they came out, and I still think they're too busy. I've never liked them growing up. Even as a kid, I did not like the original Avalanche jerseys. And I've never, ever, ever liked their color scheme. The blue, the burgundy, and the silver and white and black, I've never liked their color scheme for a second. Never. I've never been truly impressed with a Colorado Avalanche jersey. Since the day they entered the National Hockey League, I have never seen a Colorado Avalanche jersey that makes me go, wow, that's amazing. Their logo's good, but that's about it. For me, at least. Their original burgundy jersey was a unique look. It wasn't completely terrible, but I would not want to see it back on the ice all the time. But unfortunately, their uniforms right now are so freaking bad that I would go back to their original look in a heartbeat if that's the best they can do. At least it would be much better than what they've got right now. I wouldn't even mind if they switched to their third jersey full-time, because their home and away jerseys are so damn bad. But I've heard that the Avalanche are not switching to the Rockies logo. They are staying with their original current logo, which I think is the right decision. Do I think the navy blue is better than the burgundy? As of right now, yes, I do. But if the Avalanche would have gone more towards the route of what the Latvian hockey teams have got for uniforms right now, if you want to look those up, something in that direction, though, I think could actually look quite decent. I mean, with the right look, I think the burgundy could work because it is a unique look. It is a unique color. I mean, if you've got a unique color and you can make it look good, why not make it look good, right? At least that's how I see it. But, you know, it's just, I just don't really know what to say with Colorado. I mean, I think they should maybe go with new home jersey that is navy blue instead of burgundy, if they can't come up with anything good in burgundy. But the thing is, I would just, at this point, I am just happy to hear that the Avalanche are getting new jerseys next year. Because Once again, I don't even know how the Avalanche could have possibly kept their uniforms for as long as they have, because they suck. I'm just going to say it the way it is. Their current jerseys suck. At least their third jersey is much cleaner looking. It is, and I will give it that. But compared to their home and away jerseys, they're so damn bad, practically anything is better. I mean, if they would go with a navy blue uniform with their current logo on the front instead of the Rockies-inspired one, I would be all for it. With a brighter red, or if they could make the burgundy actually stand out on the uniform. Or if they went with the Latvian national hockey team jersey look, I would be good with that too if they did it well. They could make it work. But for Colorado, I just don't know. I just think they need to go back to square one and start all over. I mean, if I had my way, I would love to see them go to the original Colorado Rockies logo that they had before they moved to New Jersey to become the New Jersey Devils. But the problem with that, though, is that the Colorado Rockies are now the New Jersey Devils, while the Avalanche came into the National Hockey League in 1995 after they relocated from Quebec. So, for the Winnipeg Jets, because they used the original logo and the original jersey from the World Hockey Association before they ever stepped foot in the NHL, I think that is why they were able to get away with the Heritage Classic uniform that they wore this season, is because that uniform was never a part of the original Winnipeg Jets history in the NHL. Whereas with the Colorado Rockies logo and uniforms, that's part of the Devils' history, not the Avalanche's history. So in that case, I understand it. But in a perfect world, though, man, the Colorado Rockies original logo is so much better than either logo, in my opinion. And remember, this is my opinion. It may not be yours. But you know what? If Colorado's going to get new uniforms, either they should go back to their original look since they're not changing their logo from what it sounds like, or they should come up with something that's more around the lines of their third jersey, except make it a complete jersey with waist striping and make sure that that burgundy color actually stands out on them. And you know what? I'm glad that they're not changing their logo to the modernized Rockies logo, because I think their original logo is much better than that one is, in my opinion. But anyways, at this point in time, I'm just happy that Colorado's getting new uniforms. And if there's a team that desperately needs them, it's Colorado. Even more so than Calgary, in my opinion. And I can't stand Calgary's home and away jerseys for the life of me. Those jerseys suck too. But they don't suck. They suck, but they don't. Colorado Avalanche suck. If you get my drift. They're not as bad. At least in my personal opinion. And I'm actually glad that the Yeti foot is gone. I like just the simple Colorado State flag patch better, which I think I'm in the vast minority on that, and that's fine. But I actually think the new shoulder patch looks better on their home and away jerseys. And I think some of you guys are going to think I'm nuts saying that, and that's okay. But anyways, those jerseys are done now, and I could not be happier. Thank you, Adidas, and thank you, Colorado Avalanche, because those jerseys need to go. And at this point, I think anything's going to be an improvement. And hopefully their new uniforms will be a drastic improvement over all three uniforms that they wore for the 2016-17 season. But anyways, I've talked about the Avalanche long enough. I'm going to move on to the Minnesota Wild. Now, with Minnesota, I hear that they are finally going to go back to wearing forest green at home again. The full-time color. Woohoo! Yay! Finally, they're going to own that unique dark green in the NHL. Because the last time they wore it, Dallas had a dark green jersey too. So now Dallas has a lighter green and the Wild have a darker green. Fantastic. I mean, in a perfect world, I would love to see the Minnesota Wild rebrand themselves as the North Stars and go back to their old Kelly green and gold uniforms with their old classic N-Star logo. But I am almost 99.9% sure that that is not going to happen. So, get used to the Minnesota Wild. I hate saying it, but it's just a fact of life. But Minnesota's logo actually is not too bad. I think it's a decent logo, especially for a modern look. Especially for a logo made in the 21st century. Or actually, no. They made it in the late 90s. For a logo in a more modern logo, it's one of the better ones out there. That's for sure. It's actually stood the test of time, and I think it's a good logo. And ever since they brought in their away jersey, a lot of people, including myself, have said that, hey, Minnesota, make a green version of your home jersey, your away jersey. That would be a good look for the Wild. Either that, or take their Stadium Series jersey and make a matching away version of that with waist striping. That would be good. Make the vintage white on that uniform and make a matching away jersey. I would be totally down for that. Without the oversized numbers and nameplates on the back. That would be great. I mean, with Minnesota, I would have loved to have seen a vintage white away jersey. But if the Wild were going to do it, they would have probably have already done so when they switched to their away jersey, because I do hear that they were considering a vintage white away jersey when they came out with their current away jersey. But for me, I just want to either see a home version of their away jersey or new home and away jerseys with waist striping based off of their Stadium Series look. Because either way, that'll be much better than their cluster mess of uniforms that they've got right now. Because their red jersey, it's okay, but the vintage white accents and the dark green and the lack of waist striping is kind of crummy. Their green alternate jersey, at first I thought it was better than their red jersey. I still do, but it's not great. I don't like the word mark on the front with nothing but vintage white, with the vintage white shoulder yoke piping. It's not my favorite look at all. I mean, is it terrible? No. But is it great? Absolutely hell no. It's not. And their home jersey, I've grown bored of it. And the reason for that is I think the Wild should own the dark green and have a unique identity. It'd be so much better. And the logo inside a roundel just doesn't look good. Neither does the script that says Minnesota Wild. The script doesn't suck, but I would rather see their main primary logo than the script any day. But with Minnesota as well, with their away jersey, I mean, I find the redundant shoulder patch that just has their logo inside a roundel is stupid. They should get rid of it. And the nameplates on the back of their away jersey are a little bit too big, in my opinion. They should go to a regular size. And if they did that and made a matching green version of that, or went with new home and away jerseys based off of their Stadium Series look, with either white instead of vintage white, or keep the vintage white and make a vintage white away jersey with waist striping, or white with waist striping. Key term here, waist striping. That to me would be terrific. And it would be a very nice update to their current uniforms, and a huge improvement too. But one other little pet peeve of mine that I want to share before I move on to St. Louis, and sorry for being picky, guys, but I got to get this off my chest. For whatever stupid reason, the Wild have decided to take all of their jerseys, including their half-decent away jersey, which I think is one of the better away jerseys out there. And they took the lace-up collars, and they went with the Stadium Series style mock lace-ups. Those look horrible on traditional looks. Like for the more modern looks, like Colorado's third jersey, for the Stadium Series looks in the 2013-14 season that used it, even Arizona's away jersey and the Anaheim Ducks new home and away jerseys, I think the ultra-modern lace-up style is a great idea. It looks good. But for a traditional look, like the Wild's away jersey, for example, I think it sucks. And instead of 2 strings, they've got 3. Like, who thought that was a good idea? Like, just leave your goddamn lace-up style collar alone. You don't see Montreal and Toronto fiddling around with their collars, do ya? Like, Minnesota, do what they're doing. They leave their laces alone, and they look great. Do the same thing, for Christ's sake. If you're gonna go traditional, go traditional. Own it. Besides, your old lace-up style without messing with your laces like you did, looked 10 times better than what they do now. In fact, I think they're an eyesore. Personally. But remember, guys, I'm being really picky when I say that. But anyways, you guys, I've talked enough about Minnesota as well, so I'm going to finish this video with the St. Louis Blues. Now, when they switched to their current look, I felt that they took their 2000s jerseys and made them way better. Their home and away jerseys are quite good, and I love their away jersey. I think it's great. But with their home jersey, I still think it's nice, but my issue is that it's too dark. There's way too much navy on it, and I wish they would have made the shoulder yoke gold instead of navy. And when St. Louis switched to their new uniforms that they've had since, I believe, the 2014-15 season, or 2013-14, I believe. With the Blues, I wanted to see more gold and less navy. I got that for the away jersey for the most part. Very impressed with that one. But with their home jersey, it looks good, but it doesn't look great. And I wish it would have had more gold. But something I got to talk about with St. Louis, though, is their Winter Classic jersey they wore against Chicago for the 2017 Winter Classic. Wow, that was a thing of beauty. The shade of blue on that uniform was so bright. It was so nice. I love that shade of blue, that hue of more of a baby blue, between baby blue and royal blue. It was just so nice and bright. It was a real nice color. And I want to see the Blues home jersey have that color of blue, royal blue. Very nice. And would I be open to the Blues getting rid of navy altogether? Sure, but personally, I find the best blue uniforms, St. Louis uniforms, have actually had navy blue. In some way, shape, or form. Their current look is one of maybe my favorite look for the Blues. Actually, their 1967 blue jersey is my favorite. The one that they brought back this year for the Winter Classic. That is my favorite. But the only thing I would have done different is I would not have had the waist striping curved to follow the Reebok Edge jersey template. Or I guess now the Adidas Tech Fit template. Whatever. And I would have gone with white instead of vintage white. And I think that if either the Blues switched to that or switched to a new home jersey that took their current home jersey and combined it with their Winter Classic jersey, wow, that would be amazing. Even if they made a matching away jersey made their away jersey better match that, wow, the Blues would have some of the absolute best jerseys in hockey. And I say that as somebody who thinks their away jersey is really quite good. But with their Winter Classic jersey, I mean, as much as I'm going to miss their navy blue alternate, I thought it was actually a really cool idea to do the Blues logo in a roundel with the iconic St. Louis arch. I thought that was a cool idea. Great idea for a third jersey. But as I say that, I would trade it for the Winter Classic jersey as a new alternate any day of the week. And with the Blues keeping their uniforms the same next year with Adidas coming in. Oh yes, and by the way, the Wild have been confirmed they are getting a new green home jersey. The Jets aren't changing their jerseys, and Colorado's also getting new home and away jerseys. So with St. Louis not getting new home and away jerseys, they have to make that Winter Classic jersey their third jersey. It's too good for them not to, in my opinion. And When the Kings and the Flyers celebrated their 50th anniversaries by coming out with new uniforms, the Blues did the right thing. They not only brought this jersey, the 67 throwback, out for the Winter Classic, but they wore it for like 6 or 7 games after that game. And it was terrific. Could it have been a little bit better? Yes. And if they're going to make it a permanent home jersey, I would want it to be a combination of their home jersey now and that jersey. But if they ever did that, holy crap, the Blues would have truly perfect jerseys, in my personal opinion. So, since they're not changing their home and away jerseys, I would like to see the Blues go with a brighter home jersey. But in the meantime, their home and away jerseys are quite good in my opinion, especially their away jersey, much more so than their home jersey in my opinion. But for the Blues, the one change I do want to see in the not too distant future is them definitely making that Winter Classic jersey a third jersey starting in the 2018-19 season. So anyways, you guys, that's it for the first half of the Central Division. And my next video will be the conclusion of not just the Central Division, but the entire 4-part video series that I have done for Orbital X Stride 52, covering NHL jersey changes that I would like to see. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this entire series up to this point. And of course, you guys, until I come back with my next video, the end of this series. As always, you guys, take care, and of course, as always, bye for now.